Welcome, guys. Welcome to another episode of United Bedtime Talks. आई होप अगर आप नॉर्थ में हैं तो ज़्यादा ठंड नहीं लग रही है आपको. वेस्ट में है तो यहाँ पर तो हम पंखा और एसी चला रहे हैं. तो बिजली का बिल तो दोनों को सेम ही आना है. आप हीटर चलाओ, हम एसी चलाए, पंखा चलाए. So today the agenda is to talk about the performance of a match which happened yesterday. Was it a good performance or is just paper over the cracks? But uh, there's some background music. Yep. So apart from that, we're gonna talk about the breaking news. अभी दो तीन न्यूज आए हैं regarding a divide in our camp, Ronaldo camp and Harry Maguire camp. There is news that Paul Pogba will not make a decision. I don't know. The sky is blue, water is wet. Pogba will not make a decision. Nothing new in it. Nothing new in it. We'll also talk about Ronaldo's performance and other players' performance. उसके साथ हम बात एक एक स्टैट जो है, एक कंपैरिजन जो है सोशल मीडिया में वायरल हुआ है अभी बिटवीन ओले गुनर सोल्शायर एंड राफ रैग्निक. वी गोना टॉक अबाउट इट एज वेल. आज मेरे साथ जो पैनलिस्ट हैं, our regular Mudit Bhai, who works with 90 Minutes. Great writer. You should check out his writings for sure. And my dearest friend, Kshitij Garg, uh, who is a Manchester United Supporters Club Ahmedabad member. And we are friends over a decade, and he is a lifelong Manchester United fan. Hello, guys. Welcome. Welcome to the show. Uh, let's get on with it. Let's get on with it. Before coming to the match, I want to talk about this breaking news. The first breaking news. Uh, Kshitij, there is some background noise from your end. Music. So the first breaking news is that Manchester United have been charged with a misconduct. They have been charged with a misconduct that the reaction for that red card was over the top. जब बार बार तुम डिसीजंस गलत देते हो हर एक मैच में. लास्ट ईयर 2 times fucking FA came and apologized to Manchester United for wrong decisions. This year a clear handball not given, two goals which were in normal circumstances would have been given goals ruled out, and you are saying that प्लेयर्स ओवर रिएक्टेड. जहां पर येलो मिला था जो रेफरी ने चेंज करके रेड किया, विच वाज द राइट डिसीजन, उसके लिए ओवर रिएक्शन का तुम चार्ज कर रहे हो. This is what FA is doing to us. So don't tell me there isn't a hidden agenda here, because it's not the first time where Manchester United have been hurt through FA, through referees. So what are your views on this? I'll go to Mudit. What are your views on this?
मैंने मिस कर दिया. अब एक बार वापस जरा, because I went
So
out.
breaking news आया है कि FA has charged Manchester United with the overreaction. जो रेड कार्ड का रिएक्शन दिया था उसका.
It's not something new that's happened with United. It's okay. I mean, not a big deal. We've been before also. We've been unfairly treated, but I mean, it does not come as a surprise me, and this will keep on happening आगे भी future में. But I don't think it's like we should kind of think of it that कि ये अपने साथ ही हो रहा है, होता रहता है.
Kshitij?
As Mudit Bhai already said, it is, even for me, it did not come as a surprise that we were recharged for that particular incident. We have seen countless number of times in Liverpool's matches, Chelsea's matches, whenever there is some penalty awarded to the opposition, their players go for that tactic, they surround the referee, and nothing has been done. We are clearly seeing the pattern. And suddenly, when a decision goes in favor of Manchester United, which I think to an extent was a correct red card, I just don't see the why United are being targeted for that. So this hasn't been something which has been going on since a long time. So it's not as if United it we have been on the receiving end, and I have seen many other clubs being also on the receiving end. So ऐसे मुझे लगता नहीं है कि कोई पर्टिकुलर एजेंडा है, बट आई एम currently since the last 3 or 4 years I've been seeing this pattern with us quite a frequent than other clubs. तो ये मेरा तो यही व्यू है
Before
कि
coming to Anurag, I want to reiterate my points and also point out one thing. Last year, two apologies from FA
हम्म,
for
हम्म,
incorrect decisions. Recent matches incorrect decisions. ठीक है. तो एजेंडा नहीं है तो क्या है? There is something
yeah,
wrong. Clearly, something is
you,
wrong. And the
you
second
see,
thing, on the spot, Bruno Fernandes was given a yellow card for it already. तुम ऑलरेडी
hmm,
पनिश कर चुके हो. एक क्राइम का दो पनिशमेंट नहीं होता है.
yeah, true about that. But if you can see, I've मैंने बीच में I watched a few of the Tottenham Hotspur games, and वहाँ भी ऐसे ही चल रहा है. मतलब जैसे what has been happening with us, what happened in the Middlesbrough game, with what happened with in the last few games. जैसे Burnley वाला game ही देखो, we had two clear goals disallowed. मिडल्सबोरो वाला गेम में जो इक्वलाइजर था वो भी पेनल्टी. मतलब दिस हैज बीन गोइंग ऑन विद अस, बट दूसरे क्लब्स भी हैव हैव आल्सो बीन एट द रिसीविंग एंड. बट अपने को अभी ऐसा लग रहा है कि ज्यादा है, बट आई डोंट थिंक सो. इट इज जस्ट अबाउट अस. इट इज अबाउट अ इन मतलब इन जनरल देखो तो रेफरिंग क्वालिटी बहुत ज्यादा खराब हो चुकी है. मतलब इंग्लिश रेफरीज, यू न्यू दैट इन द वर्ल्ड कप देयर वाज नो सिंगल इंग्लिश रेफरी. देयर इज अ रीजन फॉर इट.
Fair enough. Well said. Anurag, what are your thoughts on it?
First of all, uh, warm welcome to Kshitij bhai. Happy to have you on the show. Uh, मीत अपन दोनों इस रेफरिंग के सिनेरियो के रिगार्डिंग सेम पेज पे हैं. तो इफ यू रिकॉल, क्लैटनबर्ग का शायद था ना इंटरव्यू कि हाँ, बिफोर दैट जनरली लोगों को क्या लगता है कि गिविंग अ रेड कार्ड टू अ सर्टेन गाय और अ सर्टेन टीम इज द वे दैट रेफरीज शो देयर बायस. बट दैट्स
Not at
नॉट इट.
all.
क्लैटनबर्ग ने अपने उसमें लिखा है कि देर आर मोर सटल वेज टू डू इट, एंड टू वेरी प्रोमिनेंट थिंग्स आर गिविंग defensive destroyer midfield player a yellow card very early in the game. This is a known
That
tactic
happened with
in the
Scott
refereeing world.
McTominay with our
Yes.
favorite VAR referee.
Yes,
First half.
exactly.
And I guess Clattenburg was the one who actually was refereeing that infamous Chelsea versus Spurs game at Stamford Bridge, right? Which ended at 2-2.
Yes.
And he clearly said in his, I guess in the interview or autobiography, I'm not sure about it, that he purposefully let the game drift,
Yeah.
let the players lose control over it. So we have a pretty good, that should be everyone should have that idea that Premier League में officiating कौन से लेवल का है. And it isn't going to change unless the FA does something really drastic about it.
And
FA
meet
is the part
मतलब
of the problem, not solution.
They,
मतलब this is we're talking about very specific scenarios. ठीक है कि midfielder
Yeah.
को yellow card दे दिया और जो injury time around that time they
Yeah.
introduced this. So मतलब मेरे को ये रूल जब से आया है मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि I understand कि referees have to control the dynamics of a game in terms of aggression and all, but you are as a player allowed to dissent and call out a referee's bad decisions. Why not? रेफरीज तो पूरा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फ्री होके घूम रहे हैं और एफए चार्ज करते हैं क्लब्स को, प्लेयर्स को फॉर थिंग्स दैट आर वेरी नेचुरल. तो यू हैव अ सिनेरियो वेयर अ गाय हु इज कंट्रोलिंग द गेम, द रेफरी, राइट, ही उसको कोई रिस्पॉन्सिबल नहीं ठहरा रहा है किसी भी चीज के लिए. बट ऑन द
I
अदर
think
हैंड द गाइज हु आर बीइंग इंपैक्टेड बाय दोस डिसीजंस, उन्हीं को ही ब्लेम किया जा रहा है फॉर शोइंग डिसेंट. सो मेरे को ये रूल कभी स्टार्ट समझ नहीं आया.
ठीक है. तो
Classic case of riches being rich and poor being poor.
हाँ,
Anyway.
कुछ अभी सुन लो. So what happens is after every game एक रिपोर्ट बनी जाती है जो रेफरी सबमिट करता है टू 3 डिफरेंट पीपल. वन इज द मैच, जो अपना ऑन फील्ड रेफरी है वो मैच रेफरी को सबमिट करता है एक, एंड देन इट इज ऑल्सो सेंड टू द प्रीमियर लीग एंड द एफए, दोनों. ठीक है. अब उस प्रोसेस में देयर इज अ ट्रिब्यूनल हु लुक्स एट which were the decisions that were taken which were which were not right, which were as in terms of decisions that he gave, which kind of proved to hinder the game as well as the wrong decisions. So what happens after that is there are they it's kind of rectified in their next game. They are taught on the job that ये जो तुमने किया है ये next time now. So I mean, I know it's very easy for a referee to take that decision in the moment, but VAR का रोल जो है वो और expand होगा in the future. This is just the beginning of VAR, and eventually अभी if you go to see, there is going to be a robo referee. If anyone has heard about this, there's going to be a robot referee on the field. For I guess it's already happened once, but it's going to be revolutionized and it's going to be made mechanical in the future. तो human error जो है वो एक total और दूसरा discussion है. But as for referees, they are given like a feedback after every game that they screwed this up and they didn't. I mean, ये अच्छा किया, ये अच्छा नहीं किया.
So there is a
and
comment
and
here
and
from
and Mudit bhai, sorry, before the comment, Mudit bhai, and based on that they overcorrect those decisions in the next game. ठीक है,
Yeah,
तो
yeah, as in
मतलब वो सिर्फ
direct effect
रिड्यूस नहीं
also.
करते हैं, वो डबल
Direct
डाउन करते हैं ऑन द ऑपोजिट साइड.
Yeah, a classic example of that is even peer pressure. उसमें भी यही हो जाता है because for example Bruno diving earlier he was given more fouls, but जब से वो उसका penalties का भी देखने लगे कि फिर majority of the things that happened that he dives and all that, तो उसके बाद if you go to see Bruno doesn't get much decisions in his favor. So वो
हाँ, क्लियरली वो दिखता है वो.
so Pratyush is saying if they allow refs being questioned, to refs को और difficult हो जाएगा to control the match. It's more important to improve the quality of refereeing. No one can say no to that,
हाँ बिल्कुल
especially
ऐसा
not
है.
United
Definitely.
fans.
Uh,
Liverpool fans might disagree, okay, not United fans.
नहीं नहीं
I
मेरा
have a point
हाँ
here.
या go ahead
Sorry
Untied.
क्षितिज भाई, for
अरे
cutting
कोई
you
नहीं.
off. प्रत्युष भाई मतलब वो जनरली ठीक बात बोल रहे हैं, बट ऐसा नहीं है कि इंग्लिश रेफरीज आर बाय डिफॉल्ट बैड या उनको गेम रीड नहीं करना आता है. दे आर trained in a certain way to allow more physicality, but होता क्या है कि and that physicality runs in direct contrast with what we see in Champions League for example. तो वो एक लोगों के दिमाग में परसेप्शन है कि यूएफा वाले थोड़े स्ट्रिक्ट है इन दीज थिंग्स और प्रीमियर लीग वाले थोड़े लीनियंट है, बट उसके अलावा मतलब अगर आप इंडिविजुअल क्वालिटीज में, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई वाज टू कंडक्ट अ रेफरी टेस्ट और मेरे सामने एक ला लीगा रेफरी है, इंग्लिश रेफरी है, ठीक है, इंडिपेंडेंटली, मुझे नहीं पता है कि कौन सा लीग का रेफरी है, तो दे विल प्रोबेबली बी मार्क्ड सिमिलरली. बट द थिंग इज कि देयर इज अ सर्टेन जो पीजीएम और एफए के रूल्स आ जाते हैं ना, दे मेक द रेफरीज लुक बैड. देयर आर मेनी टाइम्स व्हेन रेफरीज आर अंडर प्रेशर टू गिव सर्टेन डिसीजंस, ठीक है, एंड देयर हैव बीन रूमर्स एंड रम्बलिंग्स एंड इवन एक्सेप्टेड बाय सर्टेन रेफरीज कि क्या क्या हुआ है गेम्स में. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि रेफरीज आर बैड, द होल सिस्टम इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल.
Yeah, let's not talk about Juventus here. The
अरे
infamous Juventus
there
case.
there was this I exactly I'm not sure when was this idea actually proposed that the referees should actually have that post match presentation kind of a thing where they can actually explain the kind of decisions they made during the game. So actually that would make a lot of sense in terms of what their actual mentality is within games and why they undertook that particular decision. I to an extent I agree it is kind of it might create more outrage, but then for fans like us who generally when we are on when we watch whether it is live on लैपटॉप पे देख रहे हैं टीवी पे देख रहे हैं we have some particular underlying biases कि इसने तो इसलिए फाउल दिया क्योंकि वो क्या बोलते हैं ये अगेंस्ट है ये मेरे टीम के या something of that sorts. तो that idea which I particularly like is referees ऐसा कुछ होना चाहिए where referees they can actually justify not justify but why they undertook some particular decisions within the match.
वेल सेड
That can
क्षितिज भाई,
only
वेल
happen
सेड.
in ideal world. If I'm being honest, होना चाहिए, but होगा नहीं. We know that. Let's so talking about falsifying things. Let's come to our favorite true and false merchant, famously infamously known as true and false merchant,
Christian
Christian
Falk.
Falk. So he has said that there is two camps in Manchester United. जो पॉपुलर नरेटिव बन गया थोड़े टाइम से कि there is one great Cristiano Ronaldo and there is Harry Maguire in the English core, and Rashford has come out and blatantly said fuck off.
Love
He
it.
said fuck
Absolutely
off
love
to
it.
him.
I absolutely love it. I ultimately I want more players to actually go against these type of journalists who actually have no clue about what is going on.
Exactly.
Anyone sensible can actually have that idea that why would, even for an extent, if I believe that Harry Maguire has been doing this kind of uh, even 1% of my delusional self believes that, out of everything, Marcus Rashford, what would he gain out of doing that? There have been countless reports. Rashford has come out, and it is very evident that he idealizes Cristiano. So why
Yeah.
the hell would he just go again against that type of a leader in the dressing room, which you might associate with someone else, but frankly, I don't associate that with Marcus out of everyone, and I absolutely enjoyed his tweet. He just came out with that bullshit merchant.
So if I relate it with the, so I was watching Wayne Rooney's movie, absolutely loved it. If you haven't watched it, please go and check it out. Brilliant movie. It shares really personal stuff as well. So एक English media का किसी पे narrative बनाना, it's to sell papers.
I was
We are
just coming
saying
to
it
that
to a
point.
paper वाला.
this this
मैं
is a
उसी point पे
question,
आ रहा
this is a question made for मुदित भाई. मतलब मुदित भाई को इतना insight है ना, उन्हें इतना पता है कि what's been going on with the fan base and all. वो मुदित भाई, this is a question for you and I think we shouldn't even bother answering. आप पूरा explain
Yeah.
कर दो भाई.
Manchester United is the biggest fan base in the world. Manchester United articles get more reads and more money than any other club's articles around the world. Third, Manchester United transfer news and rumors are the most searched on Google in football. Okay? And Manchester United as a name is enough to, make journalists millionaires. It's enough. You put in one rumor and you become a star. That's about it. And your dressing room leaks and all that, there is a mole at every club. ठीक है, हर क्लब से कुछ ना कुछ कभी कभी निकलता ही है, बट वो न्यूज में आएगा नहीं ज़्यादा बिकॉज इट डज नॉट गेट रीड्स. 1000, 2000, 3000, 10,000, 15, 20, 40, 50,000 मिल जाएगा. That's not enough for these leeches. I'm from the field and I'm accepting that we are leeches. करना पड़ता है भाई कभी-कभी. It's necessary for our own survival also. I'm not saying that I support this. I've never done this, but it's kind of a part of what media is right now. और हमारे पास भी आता रहता है. There are stringers who kind of tell us what is going on, but they tell us that we need to kind of twist our words, in order to make it more reader friendly, or basically adding some shit to it, even though it is just a generic thing that happened. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, रोनाल्डो और रैशफोर्ड का एक आर्ग्यूमेंट हुआ कि तू प्रेस क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, तू फॉल बैक क्यों नहीं कर रहा है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ऐसा हुआ होगा, ठीक है. उसमें देयर कम्स एन अब्यूज. उसमें देयर कम्स दैट जस्ट बिकॉज यू आर अ लेजेंड ऑफ दिस क्लब डज नॉट मीन you kind of demean everyone and don't look at your own performances, what you are doing in the game. ये सब चीजें एड ऑन्स होती है. बट इन जनरल इज जस्ट अ टीम टॉक. तुम सोच लो, तुम 5-on-5 खेल रहे हो, तुम एक बंदे को बोलोगे नहीं है वो अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर रहा, तो वो बोलोगे. इट्स नेचुरल फॉर एवरीवन. अपन खेलते नहीं है ज्यादा तो भी अपन वो करते हैं. सो इट्स नेचुरल
हम
इन अ टीम.
हम 10 गुना ज्यादा गाली देते हैं कि भाई एक
हमको
पास में
गालियां
सब
देते हैं,
किया.
हमको गालियां
एग्जैक्टली.
देते हैं सीधा. फिर भी इट्स लाइक ये सोचो, दिस इज सच अ स्मॉल थिंग बट इट इज मेड
स्मॉल थिंग
वेरी बिग इन द
मेक्स
मीडिया,
इट.
एंड इट्स
So
इट मेक्स पीपल मिलियनर्स. खत्म.
जो
I'll
मुझे
top this.
इंसिडेंट याद आता है, इट्स बिटवीन विक्टर लिंडेलॉफ एंड ब्रूनो फर्नांडिस लास्ट
और भाई क्या,
हाँ भाई साहब,
सीजन.
the outrage was immense that
I
day.
have the number here. Okay, we did an article instantly after that. एक मिनट रुका, तुम लोग कंटिन्यू करो, मैं बताता हूँ.
हाँ अनुराग
तो
भाई आप बोलो.
मतलब हाँ, मैं यही बोलने वाला था कि I'll top this off with one little snippet. I won't name the person. I won't name. In generally ये होता है in media houses, when there's a briefing. For example, there's a football briefing going on. So there are, let's say, 40 minutes of a briefing that's supposed to happen. Around 30 to 25 minutes of it would be consumed by Manchester United. सारा फोकस उसी पे रहेगा. तो दैट टेल्स यू अ लॉट कि फोकस सारा किस पे है, किस पे न्यूज बनानी है, कहाँ से ये जो लीचेस है इनका एग्जैक्ट काम होता गया है.
3.5 million reads.
Oh my
On
god.
the Lindelof versus Bruno thing.
3.5 million reads. We did it instantly as it happened. ठीक है, और
3.5 million
3.5
Wow.
million reads.
for just
Why it
saying कि तू
happened?
तेरा काम ठीक से नहीं कर रहा है.
Why this happened is because pages started sharing, Twitter handles
Yeah.
started sharing, and Instagram handles who are about 10K they started. मतलब खत्म. And then because we did it first, it ranked on Google. So हो जाता है. That's business. इधर भले ही इंडिया में ज्यादा कमाई नहीं है
First
from the
movers advantage.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And the first movers advantage is the game of leeches. So media आधा जो
Exactly.
बोलते हैं it's made up. चाहे वो फेब्रिजियो हो, चाहे वो खुद हो, फेब्रिजियो को खुद 50% of the story मालूम होती है. ठीक है? He himself knows 50% of the story and he adds up his own expertise into it and makes it in a way that's appealing to the audience. वही गेम है उसका.
मुदित भाई
Last
गैरो को क्या बोलना,
हाँ,
हमारे
it's just
अपने
like,
रियो
I'm
फर्डिनांड
not
भाई साहब क्या कर रहे हैं.
वही ना.
मतलब
When
I
the
had,
week's 10.
to be very honest, I was actually liking Rio and his content, but the
Yeah.
moment he included Saeed on his TV channel, and he, so basically, ultimately, he tried to represent as if Saeed was the United representative. But you look at his old tweets, and he has been clearly very abusive towards Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I have no idea how Rio hasn't actually gone through all of that stuff. And if he has actually done that and he still has Saeed on his TV, then we actually know, just have a clue then what, again, he is also a click and RT wala merchant.
है ही ना. So even if you have good content, you need to sell.
Yeah, you need to sell.
Yeah, that's the reason I feel. Let's come back to another news. We are covering a lot of news today. Paul Pogba. How can there not be news about Paul Laville Pogba?
There's
Uh, so the news is literally no news. It's रोज का बस वही. तुम मतलब लाइफ में 2 बार खाना खाते हो तो
बसड़
it's like that.
बसड़ is the
Basard.
word.
Basard.
Basard. Pogba is equal to
Paul
Basard.
Pogba.
Pogba and Raiola is equal to a big, huge Basard for United.
True, true. So he hasn't made a decision whether he wants to stay at Manchester United or he wants to try somewhere else. But the interesting snippet, why I wanted to talk about this, it's not because of his not decision making ability. It was due to the fact that there is an addition here that he is open to Premier League clubs.
अरे यार मुझे I
कोई
just
नहीं
feel
देगा.
this is just another rumor out of something just to create likes and just to create that outreach on Twitter. मतलब हो भी सकता है. See, we it isn't a surprise if it is actually true. Raiola supposedly had offered him to Manchester City right before the derby. We saw that outrage over there. But यार मुझे नहीं लगता कि Pogba would be, we everyone has that वो कि भाई उसको तो जाना है, मैड्रिड जाना है या यूवेंटस जाना है. तो इट्स प्रीटी क्लियर कि
Again,
प्रीमियर लीग में जाएगा तो भी देयर इज नो अदर क्लब अपार्ट फ्रॉम मैनचेस्टर सिटी हु विल बी एबल टू अफोर्ड हिज वेजेस.
Chelsea.
नहीं करेगी स्पेंड उतना उसके वेजेस पे. यू सी देयर हाईएस्ट अर्नर इज काई हैवर्ट्स या
मैं
लुकाकू
एक
है.
बात बोलूं, none of these clubs will buy him because
Yeah.
of the
हाँ
baggage he carries.
हाँ, बैगेज दैट ही कैरीज एग्जैक्टली.
है और उसका.
Manchester
I
City
mean,
hasn't dealt with Raiola at
I
any
know.
point of time.
See, Pogba might be a very good guy, faith follower. I've kind of seen whatever he does. He's true to himself or whatever. I mean, on one side he looks like a really good guy. No offense on that side of his life. Great, enjoy, perfectly well balanced lad. But on the footballing side, he has the capability, but his entourage does him more harm than good. Or I mean, I don't think anyone in their right mind would speak the things that he even spoke while on France duty. Remember, एक बार जब उसने बोल दिया था, uh, it's all planted. It's all planted in his head by his agent. His agent wants more money in agent fees. He wants a big transfer again for his client so that he can show other footballers that देखो 2 बार इसको मैंने इतना बड़ा transfer fee दिलाया है तो तुम्हारा भी
तुम्हारा भी
काम
दिला
कर
सकता
सकता
हूँ.
हूँ मैं.
हाँ.
And That's what attracts players. Raiola अपना धंधा चलाएगा ही भाई. वो he's not going to stop at.
पिछले सीजन यूरोपा लीग फाइनल से पहले भी ऐसा ही कुछ बसड़ किया था रायोला ने, जस्ट डे बिफोर
Leipzig, Leipzig
लाइप्जिग
game
वाला,
से पहले,
लाइप्जिग गेम से भी किया था.
Champions
which
League knockout.
was a knockout
एग्जैक्टली,
match. If you look at
Yeah.
it, last match and knockout match of the group.
उससे
And he
पहले भी
did not
बसड़
start.
किया है.
He did not start that game and we lost that game. So he's, I mean, ठीक है, अभी क्या बोल
But
सकते हैं.
at that point, it is really hard to judge the coach. If he starts, then it comes out of the fact that he doesn't have the balls to go against a player who has disrespected openly. तो उसको भी खिला रहा है और नहीं खिला रहे हैं, and we lost. तो उसका there was अलग outrage that you can't separate that, and you just want what's the best for the football club. You should have started your best midfield player. तो
स्मिथ की तरफ से नमस्कार आ रहा है.
नमस्ते स्मिथ जी.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for
प्रत्युष
joining us, Smith.
प्रत्युष का एकदम बहुत सही कमेंट है. पॉगबा इज अ वेस्ट ऑफ टाइम, निकालो उसको.
Yes, exactly where I was going. Anurag, a quick comment from you, and then I don't want to spend any minutes on Paul Pogba.
simple like binary है. If you want to earn money, कि तुम्हारा सारा फोकस मनी पे ही है, तो either be like KDB, independent होके खुद अपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट डील साइन करो. That's the best way for you. And if you want your career to be taken care of, do not go with Mino Raiola. उसका कोई भी क्लाइंट हैप्पी नहीं है in terms of on pitch performances. Mino Raiola is the real virus. ठीक है. Paul
I
Pogba
didn't want
actually is
to engage here, but I will engage here. If I'm a player, okay.
Exactly.
If I'm a player,
what I was going to.
I would be tempted to be with Mino Raiola. He gets good deals.
I would definitely want to be associated with Mino Raiola. He gets me. He'll get, if I'm a decent to good player, he'll
At
get me
least
a very
40%
decent club.
more. At least 40% more than what your another agent can get you in terms of
बहुत
money.
आराम से.
give me 4 players who have been very successful on the pitch. Raiola's clients, who are
I don't
adored
think
by
That
fans,
doesn't matter.
who are
That doesn't matter.
How-
मैंने
How
भाई-
does that
You
make
get
वही
big
तो बोला ना.
transfers.
मीत मैंने
You
वही तो
can
बोला ना
earn
कि
in
if you are looking at money, ठीक है, पॉल पॉगबा को हम बोल रहे हैं एजेंट के थ्रू अगर मनी कमा भी रहे हो ना, so the chunk of it is going to the agent's pocket. If your sole focus is on money, be like Roy Keane, be like KDB,
For
खुद
Pogba,
कॉन्ट्रैक्ट
that's
साइन
not-
करो.
it's not-
नहीं
For
be
Pogba,
like
that's not the
नेमार.
case.
पापा का एजेंट फीस बनाओ, घर में ही
Raiola
पैसे
doesn't
रखो.
work. Raiola doesn't work that way. कि a part of your contract or whatever goes to the agent. उसका अलग से ही है. वो बना के बैठ गए अपना मेन्यू और उस बेसिस पे he charges differently for different players. परसेंटेज नहीं लेता वो. तो प्लेयर को तो तुम पूरा पे करो ही, उसके अलावा ऐड करके मुझे तो 20 मिलियन
On top of it, मुझे तो
तो भाई
Smith का comment.
Smith-
I think every
Yeah.
one of us will agree with Smith's comment that every one of us want. And right now also, if we see, Pogba has been playing really well. You see that 17-minute cameo at Brighton, he was really good. And injury से पहले भी he was actually quite good. So personally, right now उसका form, I am fine with it. Just get us the damn top 4, and you can leave. If you want to leave, just leave. At least ये
इसमें
खत्म हो जाएगा बस.
मीत एंड मुदित भाई आर अवेयर ऑफ माय सेंटिमेंट्स रिगार्डिंग दिस. मैंने ना बहुत पहले मेरा जो थ्योरी था, मेरा व्यू था क्षितिज भाई, वो ये था कि देयर विल कम अ टाइम कि पॉगबा विल लीव ऑन अ फ्री ट्रांसफर, ठीक है, एंड बिफोर दैट अच्छे परफॉर्मेंसेस देके जाएगा एंड ही विल मेक अस फील बैड. और वो देखना है
last comment.
अच्छा performance is
Pogba is
only
trying
so
to
that you can
seduce
get
clubs.
better.
I agree. I don't
Yeah,
give a
honestly.
fuck. Give good 6 months and
Seriously.
fuck off.
खत्म.
That's it. So now let's talk about yesterday's match. So very interesting match. Very interesting match. Not in terms of great performance, but in terms of what was the performance was about. Was it really good? Was it shit? And we just were able to score this time and came out with 3 points. Or did we get lucky that they got a red card? Otherwise, another draw was on the cards. So let's start with the first half performance.
before we start, Viva Ronaldo, Viva Ronaldo.
But to be very honest, first half was a complete shit show. We had no control over the ball. Midfield is going haywire, and Brighton totally outplayed us. We had our chances, that Sancho chance, which I thought was a little bit difficult than what majority people were looking at, as it was very easy. The goalkeeper made him big, and it ultimately came straight forward to him. But apart from that, first half, unlike most of the games under Ralph, we were actually having no control over the ball, and I guess even he knew we what formation were we playing. 4-2-3-1, I guess.
Yeah, he changed it to 4-2-3-1.
हाँ तो 4-3-3, basically 4-3-3 में if you have as a sole DM McTominay, you see out of 10 games he plays 2 good games. There's a huge क्या बोलते हैं कि McTominay is an underrated player and all of that stuff, and the basic last next 8 games he shits himself. So basically
Yep.
he's not a defensive midfielder. He cannot work in a 4-3-3. We are crying out for a defensive midfielder.
अभी फॉर एग्जांपल सेकंड हाफ की बात करें तो क्लियर इंस्ट्रक्शन दिख रहा था और रैंगनिक का कि अपने विंगर्स को बोला था कि ब्राइटन के सेंटर बैक्स को अटैक करो. आई मीन
You see Sancho and Rashford.
हाँ, one of the reasons why Dunk का sending off भी हुआ, it's because Elanga ने उसको dispossess किया था और फिर उसने so it was a clear instruction to press more and attack the center backs, which is good. I mean यही start से करना था.
Sorry,
Smith,
Mudit bhai.
हाँ चलेगा.
Smith is saying to Kshitij, Scotty's
Scotty
love,
is
fuck you.
love, fuck opinions. Fair enough. See, you might like him. मेरा कोई ऐसे बहुत वो वाला opinion नहीं है कि I'm not saying Scott is shit, but he just cannot work in a 4-3-3 as a lone defensive midfielder when your two other midfielders are, one is Bruno who doesn't have, मतलब जितना भी हम बोलो कि वो ट्रैक बैक करता है बट वो डिफेंसिव वो नहीं देता है. एंड दूसरा फ्रेड खेल रहा था. फ्रेड हैड आई गेस लास्ट 10 गेम में दिस वाज द फर्स्ट टाइम ही स्टार्टेड. सो वो चीज होनी ही थी. आई जस्ट डोंट फील ही कैन प्ले इन द फ्रेड रोल डेफिनेटली.
हाँ प्रत्युष हमने
They
सेकंड हाफ
didn't
में
press. Yeah. Yeah. So I want to talk about our backline that includes David De Gea and the 4 defensive players. Uh, David De Gea. Oh my God, what a save! Physics defying,
My
supernatural.
DDG is an amazing shot stopper, and I'll stand by that. And if someone else says
But
me
there's the
he's a
counter.
shit. Ha, he's a nahi, I specifically said shot stopper.
Yeah.
His reflexes are bar second to none.
भाई
You can compare it.
जितना अच्छा शॉट स्टॉप वो करता है ना उतनी ही
हाँ.
कट्टी डिग्री है उसकी.
Exactly. Nee, I was coming to that, Mudit bhai. I was
पास करता नहीं है. He just does one pass. जो सबसे नजदीक प्लेयर दिखेगा उसको पास करो, खत्म करो.
distribution.
Over the top आया. Distribution is zero.
Sweeping as a keeper, modern day goalkeeping में actually sweeping, you see the likes of Ederson, Allison, उनका near post, they run out of their boxes. So I haven't seen DDG doing that frequently this season or since the last 5 odd या 10 साल जितने भी he has been here with us.
So that's yes, Anurag.
I just want to say मुझे comments ना दिखते नहीं है तो it would be a big help कि अगर तुम पढ़ दो.
Sure. So it was more about Scott McTominay that he has been doing a job. Vignesh said that he has been doing fine in last 3-4 games. Pratyush said that Fred nor Scott is a DM.
He's a DM.
Yeah.
But
Smith
number
says
8
he
position.
loves him.
Smith, we all have an idea about Smith's love for Scott.
Anyway, let's come back to the backline.
Yeah.
I think it was a shit show. Complete shit show. In terms of how Luke Shaw performed, how Harry Maguire performed, how Victor Lindelof, he gave ball away 3 or 4 times, but then most of the times he was decent. His positioning was decent. And our Dallo, if I had to pick one out of the 4 कि किसने better perform किया, it's a toss up
It had to be
between Dallo
Lindelof.
and Lindelof.
Dalot and Lindelof, हाँ.
True.
हैरी मगवायर, एक जो क्रॉस आया था फ्रॉम लूक शॉ साइड, ठीक है, विक्टर लिंडलॉफ वाज बिहाइंड द मैन, हैरी मगवायर वाज द फर्स्ट मैन, वो ऐसे हाथ से ऐसे ऐसे कर रहा है, ठीक है, कि हाथ से वो बॉल ले लेगा क्या, ही डिडंट इवन जंप, डेनी वेलबैक का वो था, लास्ट मिनट इक्वलाइजर
हाँ,
होता, एंड वी वुड हैव शिट आवरसेल्व्स अगेन.
वो बात
हैरी
है. But
मगवायर,
if you look at if you just look at the stats, I'm not saying naked eye वाला, सिर्फ stats देखो तो he has had an amazing game. And I would probably disagree here कि मैगवायर का फॉर्म बहुत बहुत खराब है, but at Brighton, against Brighton, I think he was solid. Lindelof was decent. There was some statistic where they said that Jadon Sancho under Ralph, Jadon Sancho and Dalot have been the most progressive passers in the team, and that is one amazing that
Not
that
only that,
that stat.
Dalot
Kshitij
has
bhai, progressive passers or progressive carriers?
Uh, I guess progressive carrying. Sorry, I might have
um,
gotten confused about it. But progressive carriers of ball, which we have been lacking really
yeah,
lacking in this team.
yeah, yeah.
You look
And
at Jadon Sancho; he has been
Dal-
freakingly full of confidence.
Dalot's defense has also improved. We should point that out.
Yeah,
हमेशा complain
yeah.
करते हैं. He's been
Hard.
decent. Yeah.
2 साल
Mudit
पहले
bhai,
का
game he
डालो का
was
डिफेंडिंग.
first, Mudit bhai, first half, 100% tackles won,
Yeah.
100% duels won,
Yeah.
and I guess
Hey,
83% pass
very good.
accuracy or
I want
something
to
like
point
that.
this out. I'm sorry to interrupt you in between. But if you hear the commentary in second half, it said that United didn't make a single tackle.
That was
How?
symbolic. मुझे समझ नहीं आया because just before first half खत्म हुआ था, उससे just थोड़ी देर पहले ही मैकटोमिने won a tackle against Mope. मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि भाई ये
Yeah.
क्या commentary team चल रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, and from a guy like who was it, Proudfoot, Jim Proudfoot, वो that guy is seriously well versed in tactics and all. ठीक है, stats भी उसका बढ़िया रहता है, तो who's feeding him the stats I don't know, but पता नहीं कैसे इतना बड़ा mistake उसने किया.
Smith इतना अच्छा कमेंट कर रहा है, इसको भी बुला लो
I'll,
नेक्स्ट
I'll
वीडियो.
quickly, I'll quickly, I'll quickly go through the comments for Anurag. Smith, Valentine's daydream, and by the way, Pratyush looks like he's single. Maybe you can exchange contacts.
नहीं, आई थिंक वो कंटेक्स्ट प्रत्युष ने जिसमें बोला था वो स्कॉट रिलेटेड था कि स्कॉट ने लास्ट 3-4 मैचेस से काफी अच्छा परफॉर्म किया एंड दैट्स व्हाई हिज वैलेंटाइन्स डे ड्रीम.
यार
आई थिंक वो
2 दिन
कंटेक्स्ट होगा.
पहले ही 14 फेब गया है, तो यू नेवर नो कौन सा कॉन्टेक्स्ट है.
Luke Shaw's
Luke Shaw's
positioning.
positioning is so poor, man. I agree. He has
Matlab, what
been
has
shit.
happened? What has happened? I just don't get it. He had a very solid Euro. He had a very solid last season with us, and right now he's all over the place. Except for I guess 1 or 2 odd games where I found him really good. Apart from all those games, he's been literally Van Bissaka 2.0 at left back. His positioning absolutely out of sorts.
And he looks a little lazy to me. He's always 5 yards away. Not active. Maybe again he is starting eating
नहीं,
burgers, you know.
वो फिर से वही
Burger-
दिखा रहा है, वही लक्षण दिखा रहा है जिस वजह से मोरिनियो ने पेला था उसको.
True.
हाँ,
And
वो वाला
for
कमेंट
me-
था ना कि मैं उसके ब्रेन, मतलब वो उसकी बॉडी चल रही है बट आई एम बिहाइंड हिज ब्रेन, ऐसा.
And we all dished Mourinho for it.
हाँ, we every one of us were outraged कि ऐसा कमेंट कैसे.
Anurag
But
is saying he
again,
didn't.
नहीं,
Yes,
मेरा तो
Anurag.
था.
जब तक बिल्कुल डिसइंटीग्रेट नहीं हुआ था ना हमारा ड्रेसिंग रूम, तब तक आई वाज इन फेवर ऑफ कीपिंग मोरिनियो. और मेरा और अपने क्या नाम है भाई साहब का, एडम मकॉला, हमारा 1v1 हुआ था रिगार्डिंग इट. बढ़िया, बट मुझे उस कमेंट में कोई इशू नहीं लगा था, और वही हम आज देख रहे हैं विद शॉ पर्टिकुलरली कि व्हेन हम क्या ओले के अंडर क्या था कि वी वर मोर ऑफ अ काउंटर अटैकिंग टीम, तो मगवायर एंड शॉ हैड सपोर्ट अराउंड देम मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं,
We are high pressing.
High-
We are trying to
Yes.
do that. हाँ, exactly.
एग्जैक्टली. और
In
अपने
similar vein, Smith
Hamid,
has
go
a
ahead,
comment.
go ahead.
Anurag, you can continue after this. Will this team, the defense, perform better with a solid DM?
I would think this team would do wonders with a solid DM. That's just my opinion.
If Harry Maguire doesn't start and Luke Shaw doesn't start with Tallis, El Lindelof or Eric Bailly or Phil Jones will do better, or Williams.
I think with Maguire and Shaw, if they have a solid defensive midfielder in front of him, this team will do wonders. And I think
I have
Maguire will
zero
also.
faith.
No, no,
I have
I'm
zero
telling
faith.
you. I still feel कि center backs पे the pressure on center backs would be less with a defensive midfielder. Again, you see the likes of Declan Rice, who is not a traditional defensive midfielder, but he who actually covers the center backs, he recycles the position and he gets it to Soucek and then the ball moves forward for the likes of Antonio and you have Bowen.
भाई एक सॉलिड डीएम आएगा ना तो वो मगवायर बकचोदी बंद कर देगा, अपना जो बॉल लेके निकलने का वेट करेगा।
हाँ वो भी बात
वो
है
बंद होना बेहद जरूरी है।
नहीं 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 नहीं
जरूरी
नहीं, अरे आप साइकोलॉजी समझो मगवायर का। सॉलिड डीएम आएगा ना, वो ज्यादा उत्साहित हो जाएगा कि अब तो मेरे को लेके जाना ही चाहिए, अब तो सॉलिड डीएम है, अब तो मैं फाइनल थर्ड में जाके शॉट लूंगा 30-30 यार्ड का, ये होगा।
मुझे
So
आई जस्ट
let's
फील
go
कि
through.
हाँ आई जस्ट फील कि होएगा मतलब मैगवायर और शॉ वुड स्टिल डू वेल विद अ सॉलिड डीएम
I
By
think
the
our
way, just
tactics changed and he plays well with slow tempo. The moment we increase the tempo, he struggles. Agreed. Shaw
शॉ
can
कैन
either defense or attacking height. I
हाँ,
don't think he can do either right now.
दोनों नहीं कर
अटैक भी
सकते।
अच्छा नहीं कर रहा है, डिफेंस में तो
हाँ क्योंकि
he is
लास्ट इफ यू एक्चुअली कंपेयर इट टू लास्ट सीजन और उसका यूरोस का परफॉर्मेंस एक्चुअली काफी बैलेंस था वो दोनों मतलब ही वाज
exactly.
रियली मतलब उसके बॉल्स काफी सही आ रहे थे अगेन वी हैड नो स्ट्राइकर देन अभी हमारे पास रोनाल्डो है बट उसके बॉल्स नहीं जा रहे अंदर तो उसका अटैक भी नहीं चल रहा एंड डिफेंसिवली इज आउट ऑफ कंप्लीटली आउट ऑफ
Kshitij
प्लेस
bhai,
I,
Kshitij bhai,
I
it is
do
a
agree with
Kshitij bhai,
Kshitij. Anurag,
it
just
is
a
a
small comment. I do agree with Kshitij here. Luke Shaw has lost his balls.
क्षितिज भाई मैं बोल रहा था कि मतलब इट इज अ मिसकंसेप्शन कि वी डिडंट हैव स्ट्राइकर्स लास्ट सीजन। अपने पास फॉर एग्जांपल हम क्या बोल रहे स्ट्राइकर ने कि फॉर एग्जांपल रैशफोर्ड बीच में खेल रहा है या मार्शल बीच में खेल रहा है, दे वुडंट बी एबल टू हेड द बॉल। यही अपना इस सेंस में आर्गुमेंट आ रहा है ना, तो लेट देम नॉट
positioning
हेड द बॉल।
even as a striker जैसे you see Ronaldo's positioning as a striker he constantly tries to get runs behind the center back the last man wants to get the ball so I did not see that and I guess we didn't see also Rashford as Mourinho had rightly said Rashford isn't a player who can be a sole traditional striker Martial का
एग्जैक्ट हाँ,
वो again
उसको तो
work
आई
rate
एग्री।
18-19 सीजन में you see Martial who is running behind defenses he wants the ball वो completely out of place Martial भी तो I just feel कि last season Shaw was really good with his deliveries but had we had a type of a Ronaldo वाला striker we would have bagged more goals and definitely had either a silverware एक silverware कुछ ना कुछ तो होता and that's what I feel
So I want to take
I'll
one comment here. Sorry, Anurag. Once
no
again,
issues.
what about Delo and crossing? We bettered Aaron Van Bissaka
we
for final
rated
delivery. Berated, sorry.
we berated AVB
So
एक ही
if
बात
we
है।
talk about Delo ka crossing, he has been poor. जितने ओवरहिट करता है क्रॉसेस, आई कैन नॉट क्रेडिट हिम कि उसका उसके आने से क्रॉसिंग हैज बीन सो मच बेटर. आई कैन नॉट.
crossing specifically agreed meet मैं भी meet I will definitely agree with meet's point कि specifically if we see at crossing there's no इतना बहुत marginal बहुत high difference कि भाई डालो की crossing बहुत सही है but if you look at the overall team play जैसे progressive carrier as a ball carrier we see a lot of right side से we have been seeing a lot of gameplay going through which is very refreshing which I
I,
didn't
I
feel we had with
yeah.
Van
I
Bissaka.
I like Van Bissaka's defending. There's no doubt about it. He's decent
Yep.
at it. But
But again, उसकी
when he
positioning
takes the ball, ahead and he मतलब when he runs and then he cuts back and then he passes it, yeah, मेरे को लग रहा है वो मेरे को लगता है थोड़ा थोड़ा टाइम में वो कोलैप्स ही हो जाएगा टुकड़ों में बिखर के. He runs in that way. If you go to see उसका गेम जब वो भागता है बॉल लेके आगे, it doesn't look like he can do that. It's in his game. मतलब है ही नहीं वो उसमें.
और Van
It's
Bissaka का if you look at the last 6 months also his positioning he leaves the back post completely open so
हाँ.
as a right back that is criminal even if you are very good with one on one defending which is really good at I don't know.
Ole
Van
would still
Bissaka.
have been at the helm with a striker of this season and also the UEL, Smith Hayes. So there has been a development here. There is new news. It's more like no news as well. So Christian Falk has doubled down on his comment and he has refuted Marcus Rashford. Ki,
Oh,
what's the truth? He says not true, and you know it. He has doubled down on his. So I have seen this trend with him. जब वो ऐसे फंसता है ना, he doubles down. Uh, so I want to take reactions from Anurag and Mudit.
Should I go ahead, Mujit bhai?
हाँ भाई please.
तो सिंपल है. Who would you rather believe? A guy जिसका इसमें कोई stake नहीं है. Rashford could have ignored this. उसका कोई stake नहीं है. But he is coming out and saying कि भाई ये गलत है, फालतू में क्या बोल रहे हो? So would you rather believe
Stake है ना.
Rashford or would you rather believe a journalist whose soul whose earning is dependent on this? Who would you rather believe? Simple question.
Mudit bhai is that stakeholder. Let's know from him.
ऐसा पहली बार नहीं है कि इसने ऐसा हगा है, ये हकता रहता है. It's in him to do this. इसकी फितरत ही ऐसी है. Just because फैब्रिजो इसका थोड़ा गोटी दोस्त बन गया है, ये कुछ भी करेगा और पब्लिक बिलीव करेगी, ऐसा नहीं होता. On Twitter the audience gets you on your feet. कुछ भी कर लो तुम. It doesn't matter if you have a white tick there or a verified tick there. They will screw you up if you do some shit like this. But it's like उसमें कमेंट से भी देखो तो उसने जो रैंगनिक का किया था वो पब्लिक डाले जा रही है. Relentless. और ये it's okay. He's doing it for clout. क्या होगा? So
Yep.
negative.
Exactly.
Any criticism is negative criticism. अभी yeah, any criticism is positive criticism. भाई यही चलता है. और ये
So there is
डाउनवर्ड
some issue with Kshitij ka network. He'll be back in a few minutes.
ये डाउनवर्ड जो लेके आए ट्विटर पे देखा आप लोगों ने? यू गाइस सी साला मेन स्टेटस जो डालता है, जो ट्वीट डालता है, उसमें तो ला ही नहीं डाउनवर्ड.
किस पे है मेरे को समझ नहीं आया क्या है.
ट्विटर पे अभी क्या हो गया है, देयर इज एन अनलाइक बटन, डाउनवर्ड बटन. सो एक लाइक होता था.
So it's for the web version only or is it for the app
desktop
itself?
version?
App as well.
Desktop version.
Right.
So सिर्फ कमेंट्स में you can download but not the status, not the tweet.
So let's quickly come to the yesterday's game. Let's talk about our midfield performances. McTominay, Pogba, Bruno, and Fred. I'll start with McFred. They shouldn't start. They shouldn't start.
Fred
फ्रेड
definitely.
के पास अगर बॉल आया तो पता नहीं उसको कहाँ पास करना है. हाउ मेनी टाइम्स ही लूजेस द बॉल. बैक पास कर देता है प्लेयर्स को, पता ही नहीं चलता है. वो 360 घूमता रहता है, कौन सी साइड खेल रहा है. आई थिंक उसको भी समझ नहीं आता है.
Fred definitely should.
On the contrary, Fred started and we won. Coincidence?
ये बहुत बार हुआ है. ये मैं थक गया हूँ यार. I'm tired of it. Seriously. I mean, of course,
Bruno.
you have to kind of give it to him in a way that he was looking rusty because वो बड़ी ट्रिप से आया यार. He's come from a long trip. It's not easy. You're coming and then COVID का scenes अलग. So क्या अच्छा किया उसको सब किया. But let's see next game. Maybe
let's talk about Bruno. Bruno Fernandes. For me, he's one of the best midfielders in the world. Despite his relatively poor season जो इसका जा रहा है, despite that, he is creating a lot of chances. But एक जो criticism है, मेरे हिसाब से that's my primary criticism. उसके दूसरे criticism भी है from other people.
मैं बोलूं क्या बोलने वाले हो तुम?
हाँ.
कि वो रोता बहुत है पिच पे.
ना ऐसी चीज है. अरे मेरे हिसाब से तो मेरे हिसाब से और होना चाहिए, मारना चाहिए थोड़ा बहुत. रेफरी को एक बार
बोलो भाई, चिल्लाओ, गुस्सा करो, लड़ो. We want to see that. मेरा मीत
चढ़ जाना चाहिए रेफरीज पे.
Exactly. मीत मेरे हिसाब से मीत was trying to say कि he loses the ball in silly situations.
नहीं, I don't care if he loses the ball. वो अगर ट्राई नहीं करेगा तो कौन करेगा? For me,
फिर क्या criticism बनता है?
Only problem, only issue in the recent game has been by Bruno Fernandes is is it is shocking to say, but it's just finishing. On another day, he would have scored 2 or 3 or 4 goals.
But but but
So
but we are seeing the best finisher of all time missing chances. So I think we can cut Bruno some slack.
यार ओपन गोल मिस करोगे तो if it would have been क्षितिज का ex favorite Marshall or anyone, I would have killed them.
अरे यार, ये तो वही मार्शल पे ही अटका हुआ है.
इसका क्षितिज भाई मैं बता रहा हूँ, इसका फीटिश है मार्शियल.
हाँ मतलब
कोई
आई
भी
हैव
डिस्कशन हो कहीं ना कहीं से घूम के
कहीं
मार्शियल पे
मार्शल
मिल
आएगा.
जाता है.
हाँ, और मार्शल का कोई डिस्कशन चल रहा है और इसने मेरा नाम नहीं मेंशन किया है. दैट हैज नेवर हैपेंड.
So guys, Kshitij will be leaving us. It's your birthday.
या,
Many happy
Happy birthday,
returns of the
wow.
day. Happy birthday, bro.
हैप्पी
थैंक
बर्थडे
यू
Enjoy.
क्षितिज
गाइस.
भाई, हैप्पी
थैंक यू,
बर्थडे.
थैंक यू. थैंक यू भाइयों, थैंक यू.
See you, man.
सॉरी
See you soon.
गाइस, आई विल हैव टू लीव.
Good job, भाईजान.
चलो,
Take
बाय
care.
बाय.
Enjoy.
Bye, man.
बाय.
So let's go through the comments quickly. Uh, Thoughts on Paul Pogba ka impact after coming on? Decent, good, assisted, really good. He was
Directly,
able to hold up the ball.
he should have started. ठीक है, मेरा FPL में कैप्टन था, but ठीक है, he should have started.
So there is a comment from Pratyush. I think Cruz is better than Bruno personally, but different positions. Apart from Cruz, कोई आसपास नहीं आता उसके at the moment. There are no City fans, so no arguments.
भाई बहुत
Another
bad है.
comment is, अरे ओ प्रत्युष जी, ब्रूनो का नाम का जय श्री राम बोल दो चलो. And Kshitij has left, guys, so your wishes are not reaching him.
But ठीक.
Unfortunately, you can
Still
wish
we
him in
can
the
have
group.
it. We can have the wishes on the chat, on the upload itself. So
Sure. Pratyush, Smith, all are wishing him. Great. So let's we have talked about our midfielders. Let's come back to our forward line. I want to talk about Ronaldo at last. First, I'll come to
on just before that,
yeah,
why
sure.
I said Bruno is the best midfielder, creative midfielder at least right now in our very pathetic season where the team has been very dysfunctional. He still has the most created chances in the league, in the toughest
Yep.
league in the world. That says a lot about him. And for me, he is the best creative midfielder. And on top of that, he मतलब 71 वो तो है ही कि he has been creating chances. उसका work rate देखो यार, he is just too good for me. मतलब one of our best buys.
And इसका एक काउंटर जो दिमाग में आता है, it exposes Manchester United that only one person is doing the creation part. बाकी सब क्या कर रहे हैं?
Exactly. Well said, Meet.
बाकी
Well
सब कर
said.
क्या रहे हैं? If in a such a horrible season where you are not even top scorers, उसके आसपास भी नहीं हो, ठीक है, you have just one man creating all the chances, creating records, breaking records, तो बाकी players कर क्या रहे हैं? Jadon Sancho, I'm so happy about Jadon Sancho कि it's like a new signing for me.
Absolutely. I mean वो है,
It's like
but
a new
अब
signing for
जाके
me.
हुआ है. अब जाके ऐसा लगा है.
And what a player! What a player! I'm every day. I think one thing I can predict. I'm trying. It's just an opinion, but I think very soon he'll be a cult hero,
Yeah,
and
he
he
will.
has the potential to be a bigger name than Marcus Rashford.
बड़ों को खाना खिलाएगा क्या ये?
I want
I I I I
footballing
still
wise.
have very high hopes for Rashford. So मैं उस पे
Me
comment
too.
नहीं करूँगा. But yes, Sancho is going to be a legend.
नहीं,
इसमें I don't have
understand.
any doubt.
Rashford 2 बार 20+ goals दे चुका है, तो
Notice कर लो
उसका
ये एक
already
चीज.
there is legacy.
What Sancho wants right now is a ticket to the World Cup. He desperately wants that, especially after what happened to him in the Euros, in the penalty or whatever. So Rashford भी चाहेगा वो, ये भी चाहेगा वो, इन दोनों में से एक ही जाने वाला. I don't think both of them will go to the World Cup. एक ही जन जाएगा. और now is the right time to pick it up. नहीं जा सकते दोनों. I think
जाएंगे.
कोई एक ही जाएगा. I hope but there are a lot of options. England fan हूँ मैं, sorry, कोई offend मत होना, मैं England fan हूँ. But yeah, I think any one of these will go, and it will be Sancho.
नहीं, we are not offended. We are just having sympathy for you.
नहीं चलेगा, बहुत देखा है, बहुत देखा है.
So let's
अच्छा
let's
ये
let's talk about
कौन सी सिंपैथी थी ये? मैं पॉजिटिवली ले रहा था.
गरीबों गरीबों से ऑफेंड नहीं होते लोग, you know.
अच्छा हाँ, बहुत बढ़िया,
Sympathetic
बहुत
होते हैं.
बहुत बढ़िया.
So
बहुत
let's
अच्छा.
talk about the favorite Anthony and the real Anthony Ilanga. I
बहुत बढ़िया.
absolutely love him. कल काफी पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट था. ही अर्नड दैट रेड कार्ड. ही अर्नड इट बाय हिमसेल्फ. ठीक है, रागनिक का टैक्टिकल था वो,
इनपुट था.
बट ही अर्नड इट थ्रू हिज sheer running. His pace yesterday was creating havoc. He was creating havoc. And why anybody would start Marcus Rashford in this form over Anthony Ilanga, I don't get it. I understand कि young player है, protect करो this that. Wayne Rooney was doing it at the age of 16.
Not
वो
everyone is Wayne
वो
Rooney.
मेंटालिटी क्लब में है. Time and again, youngsters come and show it. And Ilanga, he feels to me a very very strong-minded and physically काफी ठीक है. He is not bullied. He bullies people. So I don't worry for Anthony Langa if he is given a run of games.
कल देखो, कल he did contribute to the mistake, no doubt. उसने he made that goal, उसने बनाया वो गोल, ठीक है. But काफी times he was caught on his heels. He was caught with the ball, and that led to the ball being going. वो चीज he has to change, but there's no doubt there's a great player there, and वो एक moment जो उसने दिया, that's amazing. But apart from
So
that, lot to do.
our favorite YouTube channel, One MUFC, is saying that Ilanga should be playing on the left. Welcome,
बिल्कुल सही
welcome
कहा,
Mohak.
बिल्कुल
I
सही
agree.
कहा.
One more comment from
On
him. He was being bullied on the right. Yeah, especially on the tracking back in the defensive positions. But उसका जो contribution है, it was net में काफी positive. We cannot take away that positive aspect that he had. अगर वो शायद नहीं होता तो वो रेड कार्ड नहीं होता, और अगर रेड कार्ड नहीं होता तो डेफिनेटली हम नहीं जीत रहे थे कल. डिस्पाइट
but
रेड
me,
कार्ड, दो तीन
Meet
अच्छे
इसमें
चांसेस क्रिएट किए. यप.
इसमें मतलब हम लेफ्ट विंग पे फोकस की बात कर रहे हैं कि इलांगा वुड बी अ बेटर फिट ऑन द लेफ्ट, और ऐसे कर करके मेरा पॉइंट इसमें ये है. व्हाट वाज द कमेंट?
इट वाज VOR रेड.
वो रेड था, मतलब I mean,
या
तो इसमें मेरा कमेंट ये है कि इफ वी लुक एट आवर टीम, ठीक है, कि फॉर एनी विंगर टू बी इफेक्टिव यू हैव टू बी अनप्रेडिक्टेबल. हमारे पास लेफ्ट विंग पे खेलने में अपार्ट फ्रॉम रैशफोर्ड, सांचो एंड इलांगा आर वेरी गुड प्लेयर्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ अनप्रेडिक्टेबिलिटी. लेफ्ट भी जा सकते, सॉरी आउटसाइड भी जा सकते हैं, इनसाइड भी आ सकते हैं, बट ऑन द राइट वी आर मिसिंग दैट. हमारी टीम में कौन है लेफ्ट से स्ट्राइक करने वाला?
those two. That's it. Sancho is playing really well, and Ilanga can do a job. He can do a fantastic job. But वो लेफ्ट पे खेले, राइट पे खेले, सेंटर में खेले, नंबर 10 खेले. He shouldn't start over Marcus. He should start over Marcus Rashford right now. Overall contribution फिर भी ज्यादा है.
I'd say this, मेरा इसमें इतना है कि if हमारा फोकस है कि राइट विंग पे इम्प्रूव करना है, आई स्टिल बिलीव कि रैशफोर्ड इज अ बेटर फिट ऑन द राइट विंग देन इलांगा.
Rashford is still playing with that, without that surgery.
He had surgery this season.
Yeah, no, the surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, तो फिर I think it is mostly that. It's not something
इट
that's.
इज अ फिजिकल इशू भाई, मुनीर भाई, इट इज अ फिजिकल इशू.
I think it's a psychological issue than a physical issue. क्योंकि I think he needs a few goals. He his season, the main change I'm seeing in Marcus Rashford, as Mohak mentioned out, that इसका mentality and work rate is the issue. So when he takes on people one on one, यूजुअली वो काफी ज्यादा बार टेक ऑन करता था यूजुअली लास्ट सीजन एंड द सीजन बिफोर दैट. इस सीजन वो कम हो रहा है एंड ही इज लूजिंग टू देम. ही यूज्ड टू लूज देम टू देम एट दैट पॉइंट इन टाइम एज वेल. बट अगर तुम 10 ट्राई करोगे और 60% सक्सेसफुल हो रहे हो तो तुम 6 बार अभी भी जा रहे हो. पर तुम ट्राई 5 बार कर रहे हो, उसमें तुम 20% सक्सेसफुल हो, तो 5 में पूरे गेम में एक बार जा रहे हो. सो
But
तो
that
डबल
can be
इफेक्ट
down
हो
to the
गया है.
tactics. That can be toned down to the instructions and tactics
He is
itself, na?
he has been asked to play on the shoulders in the current system as well, from the right as well. He has been asked to play on the shoulders. Ilanga का सेम जॉब था ना, तो why Ilanga is taking on more people?
हाँ तो वही
प्रत्युष का कमेंट है, बट रेशी में इतना इन्वेस्ट किया है टीम ने, इट्स टाइम फॉर हिम टू स्टेप अप. ही इज रीचिंग हिज प्राइम.
बहुत बढ़िया
मोहक का
पॉइंट है,
कमेंट,
बहुत बढ़िया पॉइंट है.
कांट डिसएग्री.
read it out. मुझे सब पढ़ा नहीं मैंने.
रेशी में you have invested a lot, team has invested a lot, management has invested a
नहीं,
lot.
I got
Next
Pratish
one.
bhai's comment. Yeah.
Next.
One.
FFS, we can't clear first man while taking corners and Rashford's crossing has been abysmal through the left. वो क्रॉस कब करता है मुझे तो याद भी नहीं.
See, मेरा इसमें ये पॉइंट है, मोहक भाई might disagree. मेरा इसमें ये है कि Rashford का runs are generally focused on what Ilanga did yesterday. Came in and मतलब उस पे प्रेशर डाला उसने, their center back. वो बाहर जाके क्रॉस करने का, it's not his game. ठीक है, तो हाँ, ओवरऑल पॉइंट ठीक है कि वी स्टिल आर मिसिंग अ राइट विंगर हु इज गुड विद हिज लेफ्ट, और जो बायलाइन भी जा सकता है, अंदर भी आ सकता है. बट ऑन दिस स्पेसिफिक पॉइंट रैशफोर्ड का जनरल इंस्टिंक्ट ये होता है कि टू कम इनसाइड, अंदर आने का, इन द इनर चैनल्स टुवर्ड्स द गोल. तो और जब ऐसा करेगा तो ऑब्वियस है कि ही वोंट बी डिलीवरिंग क्रॉसेस एंड ऑल. इधर उधर पास
So
करेगा,
there is
छोटा मोटा
a
करेगा.
comment from Mohak again. Dalot's crossing has been piss poor. I agree. I finally found someone who is agreeing with me कि Dalot का impact इतना ज़्यादा नहीं है, especially in terms of attacking output. Progressive carrying के सिवा he has been shit. Final balls बहुत shit है उसके. And let's come back to the one player we haven't discussed, which we really want to discuss. So he's back, baby. He's back. He's back. I was very critical of him in the last match because I expect a lot from Cristiano Ronaldo. Yesterday was breathtaking. जो गोल जब जैसे उसके पास बॉल आया, I just knew that ये पास नहीं करेगा ब्रूनो को, even if it's Bruno is standing on an open net. नहीं करने वाला था. And the strike, oh my god, बिल्कुल बैकलिफ्ट नहीं, जुफ करके मारा and it was in. खत्म.
That's
Lovely
all
strike.
muscle memory, bro. ये सब muscle memory है. वो इतनी बार कर चुका है, उसको सोचने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है कि क्या है ये. वो एक पोजीशन में है, सामने 3-4 डिफेंडर देखे, उसे पता है कि मेरे नेक्स्ट 5 और 4 स्टेप्स क्या होने वाले हैं, एंड ही डज दैट. वो ही इज ऑन अनदर लेवल. क्रिटिसिज्म बनता है, और क्रिटिसिज्म इसलिए बनता है बिकॉज जैसा तुमने बोला, वी एक्सपेक्ट अ लॉट फ्रॉम हिम, तो इसलिए क्रिटिसिज्म भी बनता है. बट जितना क्रिटिसिज्म बनता है उतना हम एंजॉय भी करते हैं भाई.
Man,
Should have scored more. He should have scored more.
yeah, he should have scored 3, at least 3.
ये तो
And it's good,
स्टोरी ऑफ
but
सीजन
ये,
अंडर रैल्फ है ये तो.
but I hope it's a catalyst. Bruno and Ronaldo are 2 players in the world who can win you any match. तुम कल PSG को ले आओ, मैड्रिड को ले आओ, बायर्न म्यूनिक को ले आओ, किसी को भी ले आओ, ऑन सॉन्ग ब्रूनो एंड ऑन सॉन्ग रोनाल्डो कैन विन यू एनी गेम. द चैंपियंस लीग का अगर 1% भी होप है, इट्स बिकॉज ऑफ दीज प्लेयर्स, दिस एक्स फैक्टर प्लेयर्स. So there's a interesting comment. Mohak says Lindelof make Maguire look good. Actually, ये discuss जो भी हुआ था, so we agreed that the best defenders on the pitch were Dalot and Lindelof. Maguire को तो बहुत गाली दी है in terms of his defending. Aerial ability, जहाँ jump करना है वहाँ jump ही नहीं कर रहा है. we would have drawn it if वो Welbeck अंदर मारता, and it would have been due to Harry Maguire, not for the first
एक
time.
एक अपना कॉर्नर था जिसमें मगवायर कुड हैव बीन सो प्रोएक्टिव और जाके हेड बीट कर सकता था, वो वाला कॉर्नर जिसमें मगवायर ने एक्चुअली मतलब हेड बीट किया भी था शायद, उसमें वो भाई कैसे गया इतना लेथार्जिक, मैंने वो उसने ना जंप किया है, ठीक है, जंप छोड़ो, उसने मतलब इतना भी ट्राई नहीं किया कि आई ट्राई टू हैसल द अदर गाइज अराउंड मी, उसको सिर्फ इतना दिखा बॉल मेरे यहाँ पे आ रही है, इतना लेजिली हेडर लेके ऐसे गया है वो अंदर, एंड आई वाज लाइक कि भाई क्या कर रहा है यार तू यार, यू आर सपोज्ड टू बी एन 80 मिलियन पाउंड डिफेंडर, क्या कर
उसकी
रहा है?
बात
नहीं. So Mohawk is saying that his price tag is prolonging his career at Manchester United. No, I disagree. उसको कैप्टन बनाया, उसका कैप्टन कोटा चल रहा है,
नहीं नहीं
रिजर्वेशन कोटा जैसे होता है, इट्स कैप्टन्स
I
कोटा.
I नहीं मीत, I understand what मोहक भाई is saying and he makes a lot of sense. भाई हमने 80 मिलियन इन्वेस्ट किया है तो we have to make him look good, समझ रहे हो ना?
Yeah. हाँ समझ रहा हूँ, but more than that I feel it's the entitlement quota that Maguire has been given.
मेरा फ्रैंकली इसमें यह है कि जैसे जनरली लोग बोलते हैं कि इंग्लिश प्लेयर्स पे हमारा वो रहता है, आई डोंट बिलीव इन दिस कि इतना ज्यादा वो हमारा रहता है कि इंग्लिश प्लेयर्स है तो लेट्स फेवर देम और ऐसे करके.
चैंपियंस लीग लाइनअप आ गया है.
So before going to the Champions League lineups, I want to give few minutes to a statistic that has been going on in the social media. It's regarding our two managers, one former manager, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and Ralf Rangnick. How the arrival of Ralf Rangnick has improved the team. Please एक बात समझो, you are comparing Solskjaer का worst time in Manchester United as a manager, जिसकी वजह से he deserved he got a sack. अब तुम बंदे का जान लोगे क्या, और sack तो कर दिया तुमने because of his performances. उसको तुम रैगनिक का stability के साथ compare कर रहे हो. I don't think it's a fair comparison first of all. And yes, the best part it shows, we are conceding less than a goal per game. I think that has been a really good change. But you know what? I'm not convinced. कल ये टीम जाके 5 गोल दे देगी, I won't be surprised.
इस बात का बिगेस्ट इंडाइटमेंट पता है क्या है मीत, कि we were
Yeah.
against 10 men of Brighton, ठीक है, in the second half, and we still had to revert to a different formation to see out the game. मतलब can you imagine that? 10 लोगों के अगेंस्ट हो तुम and you are still not able to apply your game on them. You have to adjust your settings, your team to according to what they are going to do. So that is a big indictment on them.
Anurag, I'm not surprised because you know what? When Bruno missed that chance, I was like, fuck. Like this. And मन में बोल रहा था कि ये because of this draw नहीं होना चाहिए. You know, we needed the second goal. We needed it. We were lucky. It was 1-0. ठीक है, despite 10 men. और अपना best period कब आया पता है? When there were 10 men, तब अपने 30 मिनट जो खेले अच्छा वो उसके बाद खेले. बाकी पूरे मैच में हम अच्छा नहीं खेले हैं.
नहीं वही
So
it was
you cannot
very
play a
surprising.
game 11 versus 11.
But इसका एक काउंटर भी है अमित कि we
Yep.
it was the Brighton that held Liverpool to a 2-2 draw and they gave a tough fight to City. So इसमें ये पॉइंट भी we have to consider कि Brighton कोई ऐसे चलती फिरती टीम भी नहीं है.
There's a difference between a good fight and no fight. We were dominated. ये ऐसा नहीं था कि 50-50 मैच था. It
हाँ नहीं
wasn't a
मतलब
50-50 match.
हाँ ट्रू, बट मैं ओवरऑल जनरली बात कर रहा हूँ कि फॉर ब्राइटन गॉट अ 2-2 ड्रॉ एट एनफील्ड और वो उन्होंने हल्के में ऐसे करके नहीं लिया था कि दे मतलब दे डिडंट come out of that game with any luck or something. They actually did create many chances and probably should have won that game actually. कौन था? I
और
think
तुम अगर अच्छी टीम के सामने खेल रहे हो, if you are playing against a good side, तो तुम 3 पास में ना तुम्हारे डिफेंडर्स के बैक पे बॉल नहीं होना चाहिए.
अनुराग, तो वो गेम की बात कर रहे थे. यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द न्यू ब्रेंटफोर्ड.
No, Brighton only, Mudit bhai.
ब्राइटन लिवरपूल रिजल्ट क्या था?
It was a 2-2 draw at Anfield.
यस यस
है ना? And in that game, Brighton probably should have won that game.
they
They
should
had
have.
two pretty good chances that they didn't convert. But anyhow, जैसे तुम मतलब मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ कि obviously we should have dominated them and we should have, पर ऐसा भी नहीं है कि बिल्कुल चलती फिरती टीम आई थी कोई हमारे अगेंस्ट.
नहीं, I'm saying कि एक फाइट तो होना चाहिए था.
हाँ, obviously. But
First half में there was no fight from Manchester United.
but that could have been a tactic itself. हम 3 मैच से देखते आ रहे हैं कि फर्स्ट हाफ में हम सब कुछ कर देते हैं और फिर सेकंड हाफ में कुछ बचता ही नहीं हमारे अंदर. There are no minutes in our leg. So that could have been a tactic itself.
Tactic था 4-2-3-1 वो चेंज किया. He wanted to be defensively solid. I get that. But तुम जिस हिसाब से ओपन अप हो रहे थे मिडफील्ड में, अटैक में जैसे बॉल्स वो निकाल रहे थे, it shouldn't happen. You are not controlling the game that way.
True.
Actually, Brighton are a better team on the ball compared to us. But yeah, with a man advantage, we should have scored 3+. Fair enough.
Exactly. For me, that was the biggest indictment. Ki they are down to 10 men and we are still adjusting according to them, rather than imposing ourselves on the pitch. So मुझे तो उस टाइम बड़ा बेकार लगा कि we are bringing Telles to cover Shaw. भाई 10 men है वो. Why do you need to cover Shaw? Shaw को cover करने की क्या जरूरत है भाई?
So I'll quickly talk about the UCL games tonight. Do you want to talk about that less important game in terms of Bayern Munich and Salzburg? Because Ralf Rangnick was related to Salzburg. No?
नहीं जानते.
Okay. Easy Bayern win? या फिर 4-2 जैसे हुआ था अभी Bayern का?
कुछ भी हो सकता है.
I
but
think-
Bayern ही जीतेगा.
bro. Bayern is
I think it will be a huge Bayern win. Let's talk about Inter versus Liverpool.
That is an
Rivals. Inter champions. What are your thoughts on it?
लाइनअप देख के तो सॉरी हाँ
क्या
बोल
मुझे
रहे हो.
नहीं मुझे भाई आप बोलो.
they've filled in their midfield. जिसमें Dumfries और Perisic wing backs खेलेंगे apparently और play higher up the field. Their midfield is decent, but I think they are too slow for Liverpool. Vidal, Brozovic और Çalhanoğlu. Liverpool are playing Elliot.
Mudit, you're not audible clearly.
अभी आ रहा है?
हाँ.
Yes, very clear.
Okay. So they've gone with a midfield 5 Inter.
Yeah.
With Dumfries and Perisic as wing backs or going up and down the wing with Vidal, Brozovic and Çalhanoğlu in the middle. Jaco Martinez attack, of course, and Skriniar, Divri and Bastoni defense. Pretty decent. I think they have a chance today because Liverpool have given Elliot a start on the right. And Salah, Jota, Mane, and Thiago is also here with Fabinho. I think Inter will catch Thiago today. ठीक है. और उस साइड से मूव बन सकते हैं. Konate also starts, so that could be something to look out for also. I think Inter will win this.
Inter will win.
That's a big statement.
Goal line?
I think Inter will win this.
I cannot stand Scousers, so I think it's gonna be a 3-1 Inter win.
No, I mean,
I
yeah.
don't care what lineup it is.
Okay.
So there are two good comments here. Vignesh says, "Lol, we had to bring on Telles. Lemty was eating Shaw alive." Pratyush ka counter is, anyone can eat a burger. Nice. So, which is your favorite outlet in burger? I love Burger King.
I love a good burger किसी का भी हो. रेडी पे भी जाके खा लूंगा मैं. अच्छा होना चाहिए. I know places जहाँ पे 15-20 रुपए का बर्गर देते हैं and it's so good. मतलब your McD, KFC's and Burger King's are.
भाई मेरी मम्मी भी बहुत अच्छा बनाती है. सही में.
हमें ट्राई करना पड़ेगा. मुझे
वो कैसे बनता है पता है? वो कैसे अरे नहीं वो कैसे बनता है पता है? वो रेडीमेड आते हैं ना, रेडी टू ईट टिक्की. वो फ्रिज रेफ्रिजरेट करते उसको निकाल के मस्त फ्राई करते खाते, इसीलिए अच्छा बनता है।
नाइस नाइस। पर ये इसका बेस्ट आंसर शॉ देगा।
आओ आओ सारे मुंबई।
मुंबई मुंबई जाना है तो वड़ा पाव खाना पड़ेगा भाई।
हाँ
वड़ा
बिल्कुल आओ।
पाव।
वड़ा पाव तो भाई अपना पेट है, बहुत बार खाया है।
So coming to the final thoughts for today, uh, what do you expect from Manchester United in upcoming weeks, especially in the UCL game?
बोल लो भाई
um, देखो मुझे टॉप 4 अभी भी टफ लग रहा है, ठीक है। सो आई एम नॉट वेरी होपफुल अबाउट गेटिंग इनटू टॉप 4। मेरा पर्सनल यही है कि वी शुड स्टिल बी फोकसिंग ऑन आवर चैंपियंस लीग कैंपेन। कितना भी टफ, कितना भी अनलाइकली लग रहा हो, इट्स बेसिकली 2 games where you have to in a period where you have to give it your all, and this team has the capability in it to go through. तो मेरा फोकस फॉर मी अपना चैंपियंस लीग पे फोकस करो एंड कैसे भी करके जीत जाओ यार।
अच्छा देखो लीड्स गेम आ रहा है, ठीक है, लीड्स अवे। उस गेम में देखना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज़ लीड्स विल नॉट वॉक डाउन। क्या डाले जा रहा है मीत यार।
क्या बोला यार,
10-15
मुझे
रुपए में
दिख नहीं
बर्गर
रहा
नहीं,
यार।
वो बड़ा और पाव मिलता है।
बस करो। भूख लग रही है यार, 12:15 हो गई है, काम भी करना है। हाँ
अपना
तो
नाम
पहले
ही
तो
है
लीड
बेड टाइम टॉक्स।
भाई, इसके बाद ही तो शुरू होगा मेरा, क्या करें, अब छोड़ो वो सब। बट लीड्स गेम विल बी इम्पोर्टेंट बिकॉज लीड्स डायरेक्ट है काफी, और दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू स्टॉप अटैकिंग अस। इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग टू सी किसको स्टार्ट करवाता है रैंगनिक। आई डोंट वांट मकवायर टू प्ले, बट खेलेगा जरूर। और लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड फिर एटलेटिको विल बी अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट गेम, very difficult game, because away leg तो definitely difficult हो रहा है, और Simeone will come all guns blazing, and
Yeah.
plus but उनका बाप है हमारे टीम में, Atletico's father is in our team। अरे भाई क्या कर रहा है, तो Atletico's father is not easily।
Hopefully, I think will win the tie with at least 2 goals over Atletico.
तो का फॉर्म भी देखो तो they are
Mixed form है,
काफी अच्छा।
but then I think we'll win. At least 2 goals difference. I expect us to perform. I just expect us to click. I hope we click. But
कैसे
Leeds
अच्छी है
game बहुत
first
important है। वो 3 point score करना. I don't care how we win. We just
या
need
बिकॉज
to.
अपना फिर
We just need to win.
आगे जाके फिर आ रहा है सिटी, टॉटनहम, लिवरपूल, क्या लेस्टर।
मजा आएगा, मजा आएगा।
अच्छा अबाउट दैट मुदित भाई, अपना शायद लिवरपूल वाला गेम कैन बी पोस्टपोन्ड।
हाँ
अगर लिवरपूल विन देयर एफए कप टाई एंड दे शुड विन देयर एफए कप टाई अगेंस्ट नॉरिच, सो दैट गेम विल बी पोस्टपोन्ड।
Norwich
अच्छा है।
अपना लैड है, you never know. साला वाला का हाथ वाथ तोड़ दे, you never know.
Hopefully bro, hopefully.
Daniel James reunion, yes. One of
अरे
my
यार,
liked players.
I miss
I mean,
that
उसका
guy.
कुछ गलती नहीं था जो भी हुआ इसमें, it was not his fault।
Yeah.
ठीक है।
And there was a report कि him getting sold was actually forced upon Solskjaer. Solskjaer had actually assured him कि he won't be getting sold, but next day
So guys, we'll take a leave from you. बहुत मजा आया आज, बहुत अच्छा लगा। We spoke our hearts out. Please जैसे involved हो, please keep yourself in the comments like these. We really enjoyed it. Please हमारे socials को भी follow करिए। I know it sounds really cringe when you hear it, but तुम जब इस side पे होते हो तो तुमको समझ में आता है उसकी अहमियत क्या है। We are also making
40
some
मिनट
छोटा मोटा
40 मिनट से ये जान खा रहा है मेरी।
oh boy, Love it.
We are also making some small investments to improve on our channel, like streaming, buying premium and stuff. So we want to give you good content. Just we don't ask for anything. Just show us a little bit of appreciation by following our socials, by tuning in from time to time whenever you get time when you want to chill. That's all we are asking for. Thank you
अरे
and have
भाई
a nice day.
गाली गाली वाली भी देना है, गाली वाली भी दे दो
हाँ
यार,
दोनों भाई,
कुछ भी
दोनों
करो।
दोनों दोनों
हमें
तरीके।
बताओ तो कि गलत भी कर रहे हैं, सही कर रहे हैं, जो भी तुमको बोलना है बोलो बस।
Yeah, please.
Just give us your feedback.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in today. See you next time.